afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Martin's Music Memory Test. So what clue can I give you today of what I'm going to be showing and talking about? I'll give you a clue. He's Scottish, #1 comedian, who's retired now, of course, and I've seen him a few times. That's right, folks, if you know where I'm going here, the other album I have is one from my favourite Scottish comedian, Billy Connolly, solo concert. I'll do this again, the Billy Connolly solo concert. Little story about this album. I bought this from my father actually in 76 or 77 when I found it at a record place in Nova Scotia here. Gave it to my dad as a gift and he didn't like it because I didn't realize he knew Billy Connolly. He had worked with a guy when he worked in the shipyards back in, I think it was Stevens it was called in those days anyway. So Lord, we'd like to say my name's Martin Bell, and like I say, with this memory test I try to see how much I can remember of these albums I've got. So Billy Connolly, well, he's a bit of stand up, but he did a lot of singing as well on these. So I mean, if you know him, those of you who are my age from Scotland, you probably remember a lot of the stuff. I don't know if you've probably seen him as well. I've seen him a few times myself, but this one I think was recorded live. I don't exactly know where it was, but it was quite the album actually. So I'm just going to go through with each one here because they're actually awfully long routines actually. I'll try and do the ones where I sing, but I can remember like Glasgow Accents was #1. He was talking about just the basic accent going on in Scotland and those things. And let's see, he did one called 9.5 Guitars. I don't remember. I can't remember all these, but I think and he always made fun of songs. Like he'd take old famous songs and change the words. And basically, that's how I used to do that with some of the stuff I would do when I did some stand-up comedy myself, and still do it. I like doing spoofs about stuff. So he did 9.5 Guitars, which is basically I have a band of men, and all they do is play for me. And he changed it. It was Engelbert Humperdinck, actually. If anybody remembers that song from the '60s, I believe so. Oh, and then he does one called Mary's Wedding. That's where he talks about what life was like when he had to sing in the music class to all the people, and then the teachers always made you try and do it in rhyme, like step away, we oh may go, here we go, off of Mary's Wedding. I never sang it myself when I was a kid in Scotland, but the way he talked about it, it's a classic sketch you should listen to, because he makes fun of all the Scots there and what he went through with his Catholic upbringing there. Okay, and this is actually, I forgot to mention this. It's a double album. I'll show you that. See, there's an old picture of Billy Connolly there. Look at that. Eh? This was taken in the '70s, of course. So it's a double album, and it's just a double album. I won't look. I know it's in good condition. Okay, so we'll go to side 2, for instance. Okay, Harry Campbell and the Heavies. Can't remember the sketch, to be honest. It might be the one where there's no singing in it, but maybe the one where he's talking about going camping, which kind of funny. He talked about camping, which we all did in Scotland as a kid. I remember that. Nobody's Child. I'm nobody's child. I vaguely remember that song, So he was pretty crude in this. So just warning for people there: if you buy it for your kids, it's crude, it's funny. But a day in the life of, well, I don't remember the start of the sketch, but once I hear it, I probably catch on. I've got quite a few Billy Connolly sketches, so I'm there. But side 3, well, I know that one. It's called the Jobby Weaker. Weecher, I call it Weaker. Jobby Weaker was basically Billy Connolly, like, for some reason, he's always been fascinated with airplanes. Maybe he's scared of them, but he always wondered, where does poo go once you flush the toilet on the airplane? So he does one with the Jobby Weaker, because the Jobby is what they call poop in Scotland. So it's a funny 60-minute sketch. It's very funny actually, because he talks about it, and it's just a classic, And on the other side, this is called the Short-Haired Police Cadet. Okay, so this is he did a spoof of Long-Haired Lover from Liverpool. I think is it Jimmy Osmond did that in the 70s? Well, he did. This is called The Short-Haired Police Cadet. I'll be your short-haired police cadet from Mary Hill. I get you no matter what you do. So it started that song. It was a 3-minute song. It's pretty funny. Who knows? Maybe it charted. I can't remember all this stuff, you know. And on side 4 of this one is I tried to rewrite this song myself. The Leah McGuire song. I was heading. Oh God, how do I do it? I was heading with my Brixton from Scotland up to Britain, but my story has an element of chance, because the calendar had stated it's the middle of July, and here I am a snail up to me arse. So kind of funny about what life was like in Scotland there. But the last one on this one, I think everybody would love. It's funny. If you're religious, okay, you might not either get the jokes or you'll get offended. It's called The Crucifixion, which is basically his version of what Jesus went through being Scottish before he was crucified on the cross. You've got it. If you've never listened to it, I suggest you try and find it. It must be available on Spotify or anywhere. I mean, because it's funny, you know, and very Scottish. So if you don't get the humour, you might have to do a lot of googling on that one. But I mean, I almost know it off by heart, you know. So I mean, you know, I think my favourite one from The Crucifixion was when he's in trouble with the Romans, you know, and he's going, okay, first offence, you know, when he's in trouble, and the Romans go probatio my arsium. See a bit of Scottish and Roman jokes there. So anyway, it's like there's a lot of, it's funny, you know. I'd recommend you try and find it and get a good laugh at it, or if you find it, hold on to it. So like I say, that's Billy Connolly and solo concert, you know. And like I say, I even found out I used to live in Drimmen, where my cousin lived, you know. So so that was pretty interesting. She was a barmaid, she says there once. So like I say, it's kind of interesting, you know. I mean, with all these stories here and talk about these records, I have some memories and that. So I'd like to hear from memories from you. Maybe you've seen Billy Connolly yourself. I've seen him 2 or 3 times actually. So he's always funny, and I've got other stuff available as well. But it's one to pick up. So I'd like to hear from you. You know, like send me some comments, and I'd like to hear what you've got to say, or you've got some memories of if you actually saw Billy Connolly. I'd love to hear from that, because you know, he was all over the place. You know, I mean, and it's so great. Anyway, folks. So anyway, this is Martin Bell saying thank you for listening to me, and TTFN.